What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. We've got lots of baggies and mail-aways today, loose complete figures, and a couple of loose complete playsets to talk about in this video. Lots of good prices, lots of good price data. As you can see in the thumbnail, we've got a couple of mail-aways, the Bosk and the Boba Fett, lots of other baggies, the famed dark brown Luke Farmboy. Dark brown hair Luke Farmboy. So lots of cool items. A Palatoy Cantina Playset that is unused contents. So let's go ahead and dig right in. As always, thanks to my Patreon supporters, patreon.com/actionfiguregrader. Let's start off with the baggies and mailers. This is a Sears multi-pack catalog mail-away complete set. It's got the catalog as well as the 4 baggies that were included in this Sears mail-away, as well as the box. This one had the Luke Farmboy, the Obi-Wan Kenobi, C-3PO, and R2-D2 all in sealed baggies. This one was one that was listed on eBay a couple weeks ago, and it was listed for $1,500, which seems like a lot of money, but this is a pretty rare 4-pack. And the best offer that was accepted on this one was $1,200. So that just shows you how expensive this is. It was not graded. It was just in an acrylic sliding case. But what an awesome looking Sears 4-pack. Next up was an R2-D2 sensor scope Kenner baggie. This one was a sealed tape sealed baggie. And as you can see there, it's got the yellow tape. Let's see, where it is. There it is. So this one had was a tape sealed baggie for R2-D2 sensor scope. It looked to be kind of still sealed, but obviously had some wear to the tape there. But it's always a little tricky, as I've talked about in past videos, knowing whether they've been double taped or the tape's dried and fallen off and they just kind of put it back on there. But this one looked correct, and it sold for $150 plus $10.65 shipping. Next up, this was a beautiful heat sealed Leia Hoth baggie. This one had the red hair. And this one sat on the market for a little bit, but it did finally sell. It was listed for $235. The best offer that was accepted was $210, but that one was a heat-sealed baggie. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. This is a tape-sealed baggie. I always get them mixed up, but as you can see there, it's got the tape seal on that one. That one looks nice and crystal clear and still very firmly attached to the back of the baggie. But there's a very similar baggie that has the same kind of made in Hong Kong. That's a heat-sealed baggie, but this one was the tape-sealed baggie. I've got a Lobot and I think one other baggie that has that tape seal in my collection, but I don't have that Leia red-haired Hoth, and that's a really tough one to find. You don't find that baggie very often, but it did finally sell, as I said, for $210 plus $5 shipping. And as a reminder, for those of you that have collections to sell, you can reach out to me, actionfiguregrader@gmail.com. If you have loose graded, mint on card, play sets, whatever you got. I do have some trusted buyers that I send all of my subscribers to that have bought large collections in the past, and everyone's been very happy with it. So you can reach out to me, actionfiguregrader@gmail.com. If you are looking to sell a collection and you don't want to deal with eBay and the hassle of that, I can put you in touch free of charge with folks that I trust and know, and can give you a quote on what they think the items are worth, and they paid very fair market prices. I got a couple of different Jawa baggies. This one was the ESB-C baggie. This seller had that one. That one sold for $200, and I believe the same buyer bought also this SWD sealed Jawa baggie. Both of those sold immediately, and I think it was the same buyer. I'm not sure on that, but they sold within 5 seconds of each other. That one sold for $260 plus $7.85 shipping. That one's obviously a little bit earlier of a baggie than this ESB baggie. And this is what I was talking about, is that this one is the same kind of baggie style as that Leia Hoth, and this one was also tape sealed. As you can see there, the tape was still firmly attached, or at least it appears to be. The right-hand side maybe looks like it's bubbling a little bit, but it was advertised as factory sealed, so I'm assuming that one was not kind of falling apart. But so again, it's always a little tricky on those tape sealed baggies, so make sure you're buying those from trusted sellers. This was an interesting lot of 4 baggies. This one included the Nikto tape sealed baggie, the AT-ST driver, the AT-AT commander, and then the prune face. And it looks, I think 3 of those are heat sealed, and then the Nikto is the tape sealed baggie. But those sold in a lot at auction for $329 plus $9.89 shipping. That's a pretty good price. That's less than, let's call that about 75 bucks a piece. If you average out what the total cost was there, I think that's a pretty good buy for 4 nice baggies. Here is the Bosk mail-away baggie. This is a really tough one to find and always goes for a lot of money. And I think I've got 2 of these in this video, but this one included the Bosk paperwork, which is always difficult to find. That little leaflet with the Bosk Alien Bounty Hunter that came inside the box, just that leaflet can go for $100 to $150. So again, it's got the Bosk baggie as well as the catalog, and then obviously the mailer box there. So this one I knew was going to go for a lot of money, and it did. $837.99 plus $14.50 shipping. That's one of the more expensive mailaways that you can buy. And this seller also had another Bosk mailaway. This one did not have the catalog, but that's easily kind of added. And it's very possible that this Bosk mailaway did not come with the catalog. It could come with or without the catalog, I believe. I'm not positive on that, though. But this is the earlier baggie that is, I think it's the SWD baggie. Don't quote me on it. It's either B or D. I can't remember. But that's one I've got in my collection. It's the orange head Bosk that came inside that baggie. And those are always known to have kind of discolored limbs, and this one's no exception. You can see there that the limbs on this one have started to kind of lighten up relative to the torso, versus this one that had the later baggie. So I believe that the Bosk mailaway came with either one of these baggies, but the other one that I just showed you that sold for $900 and change, this is the earlier baggie. So this is the more desirable of the 2. But really nice to see both of those sell at auction. $838 versus $901 plus shipping. And then here is the Boba Fett mail-away baggie. This one sold for $815 plus $10 shipping. The box was in kind of tatty condition, as was the paperwork there. And I believe also a catalog was supposed to come with this one as well. So I don't know everything there is to know about these baggies, but it's awfully cool to see what they sell for in auctions. And this one again might have been missing the catalog, but usually the catalogs are pretty easy to find. It's the paperwork, the leaflets that describe what's inside the box, like on the Akbar mail-away, the Bosk, or the Boba Fett. Those can be pretty expensive. The Survival Kit mail-away is another one that has some paperwork that's tough to track down sometimes. Let's dig into some loose complete figures. This was a Stormtrooper. Obviously had some discoloration going on the limbs, as is common, and the price reflected that. 36 bucks plus $4.49 shipping for probably an 80 grade condition Stormtrooper. That's not a bad price. The same seller also had 2 Luke Farm Boys. This was the more common of the 2. This one is a lettered saber hilt. AA was on the saber hilt. That one sold for $192. Just some light discoloration, but this is a 2-line Hong Kong figure, which is correct to pair with the lettered saber hilt. You could also pair this 2-line Hong Kong with the double telescoping saber Luke, which obviously would go for quite a bit more money. This is probably like in 75 plus or 80 grade condition. Not a bad looking example. I'd say it's probably more like an 80. The eyebrows on that one are pretty clean. Just some light discoloration to the torso, it appears, but some light wear to the legs as well. So probably like a low grade 80 would be my guess on condition. But the same seller had this one, and this is the money one. This is the dark brown haired Luke Farm Boy. Very, very tough to track this dark brown hair. There's obviously a lighter brown hair Hong Kong, but this dark brown hair, I believe, appeared on Empire Strikes Back card backs for a limited time. And you can see how dark that hair is. Very, very dark brown hair. I've got that one in my collection. And I expected this one to go for big money. It had some discoloration to the tunic on this Luke Farm Boy, but it still sold for $261.56. And very high grade, it can approach $1,000, like an AFA 85 example. I think you'd probably pay close to $1,000 for this one. Very, very tough to track down. I would say the orange-haired Luke and the double telescoping Luke are probably the 2 most desirable, and then followed very closely by this dark brown Luke Farm Boy. But $261 took that home. I thought that was a great price, just given the light condition issues of that one. Again, it's probably a 75 plus or an 80 grade dark brown hair. Next up was a Leia Organa. It was complete with the correct pistol, and that one sold for $135.37. I thought that price was very fair for about an 80 grade. It looks like it's hard to tell based on the face sculpt. It doesn't show the date stamps on the back, but those hands are very pale, and that's usually a sign that it's the Taiwan. But I can't tell by the face. I didn't look it up on Variant Villain beforehand. The cape had some residue on there. So again, it was by no means perfect, but a pretty decent example. And again, it sold for $135 and change. Here was another one. This one was the blue-black pistol, Leia Organa. This one looks like the Hong Kong to me. I'm not positive on that, but again, it did not show the date stamps on it, just some light staining on the back of the cape. But, you know, 120 to 135 seems to be the going rate for about an 80 grade Princess Leia that's complete with the correct pistol. This was a really good deal. This seller had this one. This is a Hong Kong Chewbacca. It looked to be super, super mint. And I watched it for a little while, and it started at like 30 bucks or so, and then he dropped it to $20, and then it finally did sell. 2-line Hong Kong GMFGI. But that was a really nice figure, very, very clean, nice details on the bandolier there. The paint apps on that one were very, very clean, as you can see. And, you know, Chewbaccas are not hard to find in high grade, loose, complete, but 25 bucks shipped for that one. I thought that was a pretty good price. Here is the Diecast Bomber, and it seems like we've had a lot of loose, complete Diecast Bombers sell here lately, and this one was listed for about $1,100 plus $16 shipping, and the best offer that was accepted was $1,000, and this is probably in about 80 grade condition. Very, very clean, hardly any paint chips at all on the actual fuselage. The wings have discolored slightly, but I mean, that's probably an 80 grade is my guess for that TIE Bomber, and that's easily one of the most desirable if not the most desirable die cast you can get. So it seems like on the low end, with lots of paint chipping, you can probably pay $600 to $800, and then we've seen as high as $1,300 here recently. So this one kind of sold right in the middle, as I would expect, given the high grade condition for that one. But again, that one sold for $1,000 plus $16 shipping. I've got a couple of ESB figures. This was a loose, complete Luke Skywalker Bespin with blonde hair. Probably in about 80 plus condition, maybe 80 grade, but very, very clean. And this one, I believe, was a Hong Kong, 2-line Hong Kong on the back of that one. So very clean, just some light wear to the hair and things like that. But no torso discoloration, which is a good sign that this would probably grade pretty high. That one sold for 56 bucks plus $4.90 shipping. I thought that price was very attractive. Here is a Leia. This one had quite a bit of wear to it. No eyebrows on this Leia, so she has obviously been to the Brazilian waxing and gotten her eyebrows waxed, because she's got no eyebrows hardly at all on her. Some staining to the cape, lots of wear to the hands. So this one, you know, to me, $57, it seems a little high given the condition. This is probably a 70 grade condition at best, but you're probably basically paying for the value of the gun on this one. So somebody may have had a cleaner Leia Bespin that they wanted to pair that weapon with, and so they just bought the weapon and got a 70 grade Leia Bespin action figure included in the sale. But I've seen that weapon very commonly go for about that price, so that's probably what the case was there. Now we're going to dig into a couple of play sets, and this one was a stunner. This one was a boxed Cantina playset, but this one was the Palatoy version. As you can see right there, it's got that Palatoy logo. How creepy does that kid look? Wow, he is creepy looking, but beautiful playset, and it looked to be unused contents, but the tabs had come off, or the tabs were no longer in place on that little backdrop, that cardboard backdrop. It did have the inserts, so you could probably, I don't know if this would qualify for, you know, qualified AFA or CAS grading, but it was in really clean condition overall. It just was missing the tabs that went inside that cardboard backdrop. So overall, very, very clean. I think the real price here, you know, the $542, which is what the final sales price was, you're really buying the box. I mean, this is an awesome display piece. You put this in a sliding acrylic case, and that's just an awesome piece to have in your collection with that Palatoy logo there. I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen the Palatoy Cantina action play set for sale at auction on eBay. I don't remember off the top of my head ever this coming up for sale. So pretty cool to see that one, and it still sold for a big number. But that box was in great condition and a very tough to find Palatoy example. So $542 plus $48 shipping took that one home. So almost $600 for that Palatoy Cantina playset. And then finally we had the Imperial attack base. This one was used stickers, so this one would definitely not qualify for for qualified grading. But all of the little pieces for the actual playset were still in the sealed baggies. So pretty awesome example. The box was in pretty great condition as well, just some light wear here and there, but really nice looking example of the Imperial attack base. That one sold for $307 plus $20 shipping. So pretty great prices overall for a lot of these items. I think that the big stunner in terms of prices were the two Bosk mailaways that were largely complete, but by no means super mint, and they sold it for anywhere from $838 for the later baggie to $900 for the earlier baggie. So just some pretty incredible prices. And then of course the Boba Fett mail away sold for $815, but a lot of those others I think were pretty great prices. Anyway, that's all I really had for this video. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.